Jaya Shri Vrinde. Jaya Vrinde. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari. Yashoda Nandana Raja Janaranjana. Yashoda Nandana Raja Janaranjana. Yamuna Tiravanachari. Yamuna Tiravanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari. Yashoda Nandana Raja Janaranjana. Yashoda Nandana Raja Janaranjana. Yamuna Tiravanachari. Yamuna Tiravanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. Guru Dev, Guru Dev, Guru Dev, Jaya Guru Dev. Nitya Gaura Haribo, 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 Nitya Gaura Haribo. Jaya Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajaka Acharya Astotar Shata Shri Srimad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. Jaya Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajaka Acharya Astotar Shata Shri Srimad Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki. Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shamakun Radhakun Giri Govardhan Ki. Shri Mayapur Dham Ki. Shri Mathura Dham Ki. Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki. Shri Jagannath Puri Dham Ki. Ganga Maya Ki. Yamuna Maya Ki. Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Tulasi Devi Ki. Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda Ki. Harinam Sankirtan Ki. Gaur Pramanande Hari Hari Bol. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Padaya Srimad Bhakti Gita Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna. Naranayam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam udirayet. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead Narayan, unto Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Nasta prayasa bhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavaduttama shloke bhaktir bhavadi naishtaki. By regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavatam, and by rendering of service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So today we will be reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th Canto, Chapter 71, and we'll begin with text 3. Yasjavyam Rajasuyena Dikchakra Jayina Vibho Ato Jara Sutta Jaya Ubayarto Mato Mama Yastavyam Rajasuyena Ikchakra Jayina Vibho Ato Jara Sutta Jaya Ubayarto Mato Mama Yastavyam Rajasuyena Dikchakra Jayina Vibho Ato Jara Sutta Jaya Ubayarto Mato Mama Ubayarto Mato Mama Word for word meanings. Yastavyam. Sacrifice should be performed. Rajasuyena. With the Rajasuya ritual. Dik. Of directions. Chakra. The complete circle. Jayina. By one who is conquered. Vibho, O Almighty One. Ata, therefore. Jara Sutta, the son of Jara, Jaya, the conquest, Ubaya, both, Artaha, having the purposes, Mata, opinion, Mama, my. Translation. Only one who has conquered all opponents in every direction can perform the Rajasuya sacrifice, O Almighty One. Thus, in my opinion, conquering Jarasandha will serve both purposes. And this is Uddhava speaking to Krishna. Please repeat. Only one who has conquered all opponents in every direction can perform the Rajasuya sacrifice, O Almighty One. Thus, in my opinion, conquering Jarasandha will serve both purposes. Purport by the servants of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Sri Uddhava here explains that only one who has conquered all directions is entitled to perform the Rajasuya sacrifice. Therefore, Lord Krishna should immediately accept the invitation to participate in the sacrifice, but then he should arrange to kill Jarasandha as a necessary prerequisite. In this way, the king's request for protection would be fulfilled automatically. If the Lord would thus adhere to a single policy, namely seeing that the Rajasuya sacrifice was performed properly, all purposes would be fulfilled. According to Srila Rupa Goswami in his Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, one of Lord Krishna's qualities is chatura, clever, which means that he can perform various types of work at the same time. Thus the Lord could certainly have solved the dilemma of how to simultaneously satisfy King Yudhisthira's desire to perform the Rajasuya sacrifice and the imprisoned king's desire for freedom. But Krishna wanted to give his dear devotee Uddhava the credit for the solution, and thus he pretended to be perplexed. And there are a couple commentaries by the Acharyas. I'm just going to read, because both of them are similar to the purport, I'm just going to read Jiva Goswami's commentary. But you should first go to save the king, since they have first petitioned you and are about to die. The sacrifice can be done later. One who has conquered everywhere can perform the Rajasuya sacrifice. Thus defeating Jarasandha with the desire to perform the sacrifice will serve both purposes. It will be difficult to conquer him. It will be easy since you have power, Vibho. The name Jarasutta indicates that he remembered how Jarasandha was joined together by Jara and could be killed by pulling him apart. Therefore, for the sacrifice, first go and kill Jarasandha. Om Jnana Timirandasya Gadanjana Shalakaya Chakshur Umilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamayam Dadati Swabadanti Kam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuddhapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishavikant Vitamscha Hey Krishna Korna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagapate Gopesha Gopikanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sutta Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpa Drubischa Kripa Sindhu Piyepacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namane. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namane. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharni. Divishesha Srinivadi Pascha Deshatarni. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaur Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. I'm just going to read the verse one more time. Only one who has conquered all opponents in every direction can perform the Rajasuya sacrifice, O Almighty One. Thus, in my opinion, conquering Jarasandha will serve both purposes. So in today's verse, this is basically the beginning of a new chapter. In the previous chapter, Krishna is approached by a messenger from all these imprisoned kings, and all these imprisoned kings are being held by Jarasandha, and they're seeking Krishna's help. So they send this messenger to Krishna, looking for help. And at the same time, Narada Muni appears, glorifying Krishna, but also mentioning this Rajasuya sacrifice that Yudhishthira Maharaj will be performing, and he wants to worship Lord Krishna and wants Lord Krishna there. So it seems, towards the end of the last chapter, Krishna is kind of perplexed on what to do, and he asks Uddhava for advice. So that's where we're beginning. I just wanted to read a section from the Krishna book, just that kind of brings us up to speed. In the presence of the great sage Narada and all the other associates of Lord Krishna, Uddhava considered the situation and then spoke as follows. My dear Lord, first of all, let me say that the great sage Narada Muni has requested you to go to Hastinapur to satisfy King Yudhisthira, your cousin, who is making arrangements to perform the great sacrifice known as Rajasuya. I think, therefore, that your lordship should immediately go there to help the king in this great venture. However, although to accept the invitation offered by the sage Narada as primary is quite appropriate, at the same time, my lord, it is your duty to give protection to the surrendered souls. Both purposes can be served if we understand the whole situation. Unless we are victorious over all the kings, no one can perform this Rajasuya sacrifice. In other words, it is to be understood that King Yudhisthira cannot perform this great sacrifice without gaining victory over the belligerent King Jarasandha. The Rajasuya sacrifice can be performed only by one who has gained victory over all directions. Therefore, to execute both purposes, we first have to kill Jarasandha. I think that if we can somehow or other gain victory over Jarasandha, all our purposes will automatically be served. The imprisoned kings will be released, and with great pleasure we shall enjoy the spread of your transcendental fame for having saved the innocent kings whom Jarasandha has imprisoned. So Uddhava is giving the advice that Krishna should kill Jarasandha first, but should also do the sacrifice. And Krishna is the supreme. He's the absolute truth. So he can do, when he does one thing, it's actually many things. It has many purposes. And in this purport here, it's saying one of the qualities described by Srila Rupa Goswami in the Bhakta Rasamrita Sindhu of Krishna is that he's chatura, clever. He knows, he's the absolute truth, so he knows how to finagle things in such a way that so many purposes are satisfied. And in the Bhagavatam, you can see this over and over again. One example, and there may be examples for others that stand out, but one example that stood out for me was, just Krishna's coming to Earth. He comes to this planet for various reasons. It's not just one reason. He comes to annihilate the miscreants, to protect the devotees, to display his pastimes, etc., etc. Another example that popped up was the whole Govardhan pastime. It's just this whole story, but Krishna finagles it in such a way that all the purposes are served, and then ultimately, in the end, he's worshipped. And one thing in this purport, or Jiva Goswami's commentary, it was saying the name Jarasutta indicates that he remembered how Jarasandha was joined together by Jara. He could be killed by pulling him apart. Therefore, the sacrifice, first go and kill Jarasandha. And I was reading that and I was like, okay, what does that mean? He's like joined together and could be ripped apart. And that did not ring any bells for me. So I was trying to research a little bit about Jarasandha, and I found this, let's see here, this verse from the Srimad Bhagavatam, the first canto, chapter 15, text 9. And I believe it's Arjuna talking. But anyways, I'll read the verse and the purport specifically because it explains all about Jarasandha. Anyways, the verse is Yat tejasa nripa shiro nigam ahan makartam aryo nujastava gajayuta sattva virya tenarita pramata nata makaya bupa yan mochitas tad anayan balim advarete. Translation: Your respectable younger brother, who possesses the strength of 10,000 elephants, killed by his grace Jarasandha, whose feet were worshipped by many kings. These kings had been brought for sacrifice in Jarasandha's Mahabhairava Yagya, but they were thus released. Later they paid tribute to your majesty. Purport: Jarasandha was a very powerful king of Magadha, and the history of his birth and activities is also very interesting. His father, King Brihadrata, was also a very prosperous and powerful king of Magadha, but he had no son, although he married 2 daughters of the king of Kashi. Being disappointed in not getting a son from either of the 2 queens, the king, along with his wives, left home to live in the forest for austerities. But in the forest he was blessed by one great rishi to have a son, and he gave him 1 mango to be eaten by the queens. The queens did so and were very soon pregnant. The king was very happy to see the queens bearing children, but when the ripe time approached, the queens delivered 1 child in 2 parts, one from each of the queens' wombs. The 2 parts were thrown in the forest, where a great she-demon used to live, and she was glad to have some delicate flesh and blood from the newly born child. Out of curiosity, she joined the 2 parts, and the child became complete and regained life. The she-demon was known as Jara, and being compassionate on the childless king, she went to the king and presented him with the nice child. The king was very pleased with the she-demon and wanted to reward her according to her desire. The she-demon expressed her desire that the child be named after her, and thus the child was surnamed Jarasandha, or one who was joined by Jara, the she-demon. In fact, this Jarasandha was born as one of the parts and parcels of the demon Viprachiti. So the saint by whose benedictions the queens bore the child was called Chandra Kaushika, who foretold of the child before his father Brihadrata. Since he possessed demoniac qualities from birth, naturally he became a great devotee of Lord Shiva, who is the lord of all ghostly and demoniac men. Ravana was a great devotee of Lord Shiva, and so also King Jarasandha. He used to sacrifice all arrested kings before Lord Mahabhairava, Shiva, and by his military power he defeated many small kings and arrested them to butcher before Mahabhairava. There are many devotees of Lord Mahabhairava, or Kala Bhairava, in the province of Bihar, formerly called Magadha. Jarasandha was a relative of Kamsa, the maternal uncle of Krishna, and therefore, after Kamsa's death, King Jarasandha became a great enemy of Krishna, and there were many fights between Jarasandha and Krishna. Lord Krishna wanted to kill him, but he also wanted that those who served as military men for Jarasandha might not be killed. Therefore, a plan was adopted to kill him. Krishna, Bhima, and Arjuna together went to Jarasandha in the dress of poor brahmanas and begged charity from King Jarasandha. This is kind of jumping ahead in the chapter, but Jarasandha never refused charity to any brahmana, and he performed many sacrifices also. Yet he was not on a par with devotional service. Lord Krishna, Bhima, and Arjuna asked Jarasandha for the facility of fighting him, and it was settled that Jarasandha would fight with Bhima only. So all of them were both guests and combatants of Jarasandha, and Bhima and Jarasandha fought every day for several days. Bhima became disappointed, but Krishna gave him hints about Jarasandha's being joined together as an infant, and thus Bhima dissected him again and so killed him. All the kings who were detained in the concentration camp to be killed for Mahabhairava were thus released by Bhima. Feeling thus obliged to the Pandavas, they paid tribute to King Yudhishthira. I was actually kind of surprised to find this whole purport about Jarasandha. It really, at least for me, kind of illuminates who this person is. And, he's kind of like the same ilk as Kamsa. He doesn't like Krishna. He hates Krishna. He wants to destroy Krishna. He wants to defeat him. And as aspiring devotees, we know that is not our proper position, is trying to defeat God or trying to one-up God or be above God. It's impossible. And our position is to be the servant, subservient, obedient to the Lord. I don't know if this is so related, but when I was studying, just reading up on Bhagavatam, and as I often do, when reading Srila Prabhupada's books, there's a little bit of bliss, there's a little bit of like, oh, okay, this makes sense now, or okay, now I can see how the world works, or this is, okay, now this is all makes sense. This is why they're suffering. This is how, how to get out of suffering. And it's great. It's reassuring. It gives you hope. It gives you a way, some sort of clarity in this world of muck. And recently I was with Bir Krishna Goswami in Govardhan for a couple weeks. And I'm still processing that whole trip. But one thing I took away from that, we're at Govardhan, and it's a town, and I'm not so learned on the areas and the mapping and all that, and there's towns around it. But it was such a blissful experience to be in an area. For those of you who haven't been to Govardhan, it's a small town with lots of people, right? And it's not, I wouldn't say it's super technologically advanced. People aren't always on their phones or watching TV or driving fancy cars because they don't have cars, they have rickshaws. And everything is centered around Govardhan, this hill, this that we've read about, this pastimes of Krishna. So everything is surcharged with this energy of Krishna's energy. There's like this bhakti everywhere, and you can see it in everybody. You can kind of feel it, and you see. One of the things that was really striking is you see all these sadhus and lots of people just sleeping around the hill of Govardhan because they have nowhere to go. They're more or less homeless people, right? When they have like a tarp, maybe some paraphernalia to worship with, and maybe some scriptures and a couple of like personal items. But there's tons of people with nothing, poor. But so many of them were happy. And it's not like I knew any of them or had conversations with them, but it seemed like everybody was really kind of happy, and everybody was kind of getting along because everybody has this same purpose to serve God. Now, they may not all believe Krishna is God. They may believe somebody else is God or whatever. Who knows what's going on? But they all recognize Krishna. They all recognize God. They're all recognizing that there's a spiritual side to life. There's a spiritual purpose. And you contrast that with the West, specifically the U.S. If you go to any of the major cities like New York or Philadelphia, San Francisco, San Diego, you go to downtown and you go to where everybody's homeless, living on the streets, everybody is miserable. Everybody's suffering. Even everybody that's walking around and has money and thinks they have it together, everybody is suffering. No one has purpose. And that's like the stark contrast, at least for me, between the West and, let's say, Govardhan. I'm not going to say all of India, but some of these like small towns. It's like Krishna is the purpose. There is a purpose. And it's just amazing to see that so many people who have what appears to be nothing material have everything because they have the spiritual spark, And Srila Prabhupada could have stayed in that area and just been blissed out the whole time, just concentrating on his spiritual life. But he wanted to come to the West and share this purpose because we're all purposeless. I know I had no purpose before I came into contact with Srila Prabhupada's books. And I know this is kind of off a topic from class, but just appreciating being able to study about Krishna and his pastimes, being able to go to Govardhan and see the places where these pastimes took place, seeing the deities of these great devotees, and seeing that these things are actually real, and that we should continue to try and spread this message in the West. Everyone is, there's just so much suffering. It's unbelievable. But you need to give people purpose. No one has purpose here. No one even knows what the purpose is. Their purpose is to shove something in their mouth or make something stop itching or, no one knows. So now, by the grace of Srila Prabhupada, we've been given a glimpse. It's our responsibility to help share and spread, just even Krishna book, reading Krishna book and giving Krishna book to others. While that's, a lot of this stuff is very deep and far-fetched, that can be a little spark to just set it all off, So this is kind of a rant, but it's just really appreciating being able to dive into these pastimes, being able to read Srila Prabhupada's words and his purports are, just if he only translated the verses, we'd still kind of be lost. We'd be going on our own tangents on whatever, but he clarifies these things, and it's amazing. So I just wanted to end with, I guess, my appreciation for Srila Prabhupada and my encouragement to myself and to others to, despite the ugliness of this world, and compassion seems to be not the way of the world now, to be compassionate, to try and give people Krishna consciousness in whatever little way you can, even if it's being nice to somebody and smiling to them. And then if they see you again, they'll be like, oh, why is this guy happy all the time? Why is he smiling? And then they want to talk to you and blah, blah, blah. You know, it's a snowball effect. Anyways, did anybody have any questions before Darshan? I apologize if it was a little, got a little off topic, but I mean, it's so important to know that there's a purpose. And it may not relieve all our suffering, but it'll give us a glimpse that there is a higher taste. There is a higher bliss than just trying to shove something in our mouth, trying to make something feel good temporarily or make something not feel bad, so, not feel so bad. India, when I was in India, it's a lot of... Anyway, stick to the path. Stay humble. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Taksham Varhavatam Samasitam Buddha Sundarangam Kandar Bhagom Vikamaniya Vishesha Shobham Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Angani Yasa Sakalem Priya Priti Manti Asyanti Panti Kayanti Chiram Naganti Ananda Chinmaya Sadhu Jala Vigrahasya Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adi
Jaya Vrishabhanu Jaya Kirtida Sundari Jaya Purnamasi Jaya Virnagari Jaya Jaya Gopishwara Vrindavanamad Jaya Jaya Krishna Sakha Bhattu Jaraj Jaya Rama Gata Jaya Rohini Nandan Jaya Jaya Vrindavana Vasi Jata Jan Jaya Dvija Patni Jaya Naga Kanyagan Bhakti Tejahara Pailo Govinda Charan Shri Rasa Mandala Jaya Jaya Radha Shyam Jaya Jaya Rasa Leela Sarva Manoram Rasa Leela Jaya Jaya Ujjwala Rasa Sarva Rasa Sar Parakiya Bhaveja Brajete Prachar Shri Janava Pada Padma Toriya Smaran Dina Krishna Dasa Koe Nama Sankirtan Sankirtan Jaya Radhe Jaya Krishna Jaya Vrindavan Jaya Krishna Jaya Shri Govinda Gopinatha Madana Mohan Jaya Radha Golokananda Jaya Radhe Shyam Radhe Nanda Jaya Radhe Shyam Jaya Radha Golokananda Jaya Radhe Shyam Jaya Krishna Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Shyam Jaya Radhe Shyam Jaya Radhe Shyam All glories to Radha Krishna and the divine forest of Vrindavan. All glories to the three presiding deities of Vrindavan, Sri Govinda, Gopinath, and Madana Mohan. All glories to Shamakunda, Radha Kundi, Govardhan Hill, and the Jamuna River Kalindi. All glories to the great forest known as Mahavan. All glories to Keshi Gata, the Vamsivata tree, and the 12 forests of Vraja. At these places, the son of Nanda, Sri Krishna, performed all of his pastimes. All glories to Krishna's divine father and mother, Nanda and Jasoda. All glories to the cowherd boys headed by Sridham. All glories to the cows and calves of Vraja. All glories to Radha's divine father and mother, Vrishabhanu and the beautiful Kirtida. All glories to Purnamasi, the mother of Sandipani Muni. All glories to the young cowherd maidens of Vraja. All glories to Gopishwar Shiva, who resides in Vrindavan in order to protect the holy Dham. All glories to Krishna's funny Brahmin friend, Madhu Mangala. All glories to Ramagat, where the Lord Balaram performed his Rasa dance. All glories to Lord Balaram, the son of Rohini. All glories to all of the residents of Vrindavan. All glories to the wives of the proud Vedic Brahmanas. All glories to the wives of the Kaliya serpent. Through pure devotion, they all obtained the lotus feet of Lord Govinda. All glories to the place where the Rasa dance of Sri Krishna was performed. All glories to Radha and Shyam. All glories to the divine Rasa dance, which is the most beautiful of all Lord Krishna's pastimes. All glories to the mellow of conjugal love, which is the most excellent of all rasas, and is propagated in Vraj by Sri Krishna in the form of the divine Parakiya Bhava. Remembering the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda's consort, Sri Janava Devi, this very fallen and lowly servant of Krishna, sings the Sankirtan of the holy name. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Ki Jai.
Pratipanam Purnamrita Swadanam Sarvatma Snapanam Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam Nam Namakari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shaktis Tatrapitani Amitas Smarane Nakala Etadrishita Vakripa Bhagavan Mamapi Durdaiva Midrishami Hajjanina Nuraga Nadapi Sunichena Tarorapi Suhishuna Amani namana dena kirtaniya sadahari nadanam najanam nasundarim kavitam vajragadisha kamaye mama janmani ishvare bhavatad bhaktir ahoita ki twai ainanda tanuja kinkaram patitam mam vishameva vambuddha Kribayatava pada pankaja stita duli satrishim vichintayam nayanam gladashu daraya vadanam gadgada hridaya gira pulakarnishitam vapukada tava namagrahaneva vishyati yugayatam namishena chakshusha pravishayatam Shunayatam sarvam govindam virahena me ashlishyava padamritam anastumam adarshanam marmahata karotuva yatatatava vidadhatu lampato mat prananatas sa eva napara. Victory to the Sri Krishna Sankirtan, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life, of repeated birth and death. This Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction at large because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss, and it enables us to fully taste the nectar, fully always anxious. Oh, my Lord, congregational chanting of your holy name,